Hey, Pastor Mike here on location once again from the Lepatich Brinker Funeral Home. Jason was so nice and kind to have me here to do a couple of these things, but I'm in one of the viewing rooms. Now, you've probably never been to a funeral home where it's just an empty room. And in some ways, you think about it, nothing happens in this room until someone dies. Well, like my father-in-law said in a sermon one time, nothing really happens in your life until Jesus died. He died to save you from sins. He died to give you life. So in this empty room, again, it's just an empty room. Just like a church is just an empty building until people come in and start worshiping God. You yourself may just be an empty shell until God brings you to life. Listen to this from Ephesians chapter 1, starting at verse 19. Paul says, I also pray that you will understand the incredible greatness of God's power for us who believe in him. This is the same mighty power that raised Christ from the dead and seated him in the place of honor at God's right hand in the heavenly realms. Now he is far above any ruler or authority or power or leader or anything else. Not only in this world, but also in the world to come. God has put all things under the authority of Christ and has made him head over all things for the benefit of the church. And the church is his body. It is made full and complete by Christ, who fills all things everywhere with himself. Maybe you feel empty. Maybe you feel like you're wandering. Let Christ come in and fill you up. Maybe you're wondering like, whoa, it's an empty room. Yes, it's going to be empty until someone dies. And the good news is when someone dies, there's people to help. God has prepared a place for them. And this is not their final stop, right? And then eventually after all the ceremony, this will be an empty room again. Same thing in a church. When you go in on Sunday morning, comes alive. People are worshiping. Everybody leaves. It's an empty building. But know this, that God said the same mighty power that raised Christ from the dead and seated him in a place that's above everything. It's above all your problems, all your concerns, all this world, all the stuff you see on the news, this empty room, this room with a casket and a body in it, a cemetery, all of that. Christ is above all of that. And like we mentioned in Romans 8, that power that does all that is available to you. So take a look at Ephesians chapter 1, verses 19 to 23, and think about that in terms of the church. You are part of the church. The church is his body. It is made full and complete by Christ, who fills all things everywhere with himself. God bless.